Oh, it's early in the morning. And you know what time it is? It's time to start the music. It's time to get it right. It's time to watch another video on Klaus Kellerman's YouTube channel tonight. That's about as much energy as I can muster? That's about as much energy as I can muster today, guys. It's been another one of those days. It seems like every time we get together in the morning, I have a story to tell you guys. The shit show just continues. You heard the story about the stove? Did any of you guys watch the video about the stove that broke? And I had to buy a new stove, right? I'm not going to go through the whole story again. You can watch the other video about the stove broke. The oven didn't work because of the little computer chip thing that's not available anymore. Apparently, you can't buy them anymore, so you have to buy a new. So anyways, I got a new stove. Got a really nice one. Gas top, electric oven, just beautiful. What do they call it? Chef's grade or something, so that it's apparently if you're into cooking, it's an amazing appliance. Just beautiful range, right? So they deliver it, and I got a guy come over to hook up the gas, remove the old one, put the new one in, and unhook the gas and hook up the gas for the new one. So I got apparently if you do that yourself and you do something wrong and you have a gas leak and your house explodes, insurance won't cover you. So okay, I said, all right, I can do it myself, but I'll just get someone to do it. I hired someone and they came to do it. So they delivered the new stove and they kind of dropped it off there in the kitchen, and then when the gas guy came, the plumber, really nice guy, he came, we pulled the old one out, he disconnected the gas line, moved it, slid the new one in, connected the gas line. It was all beautiful. And then I said, it kind of looks funny. It's bigger than the other one. And so it's about 3 inches deeper in depth than the old one, than the old stove. It's like it sticks out 3 inches farther. So where the stove is, there's some cabinets on the left. When you open the cabinets, they go bonk, and they hit the side of the stove. Bonk. I can't open the cabinet, the drawer, to get the utensils and stuff, the stove cooking things, pots, and because the stove now sticks out about 5 inches from the counter. It's not up against the wall. It's kind of in an island area. It's a L-shaped thing, and I guess they made the hole it's a granite top, and when they cut the thing, they cut it perfectly for the other stove, which was like a slide-in countertop thing. I don't know all this stuff, so all of a sudden I have to learn about all these appliances. What the hell do I care about appliances? So anyways, the stove doesn't freaking fit. Well, I mean, it fits, but it doesn't fit. So I had to get on the phone and find someone who can come and cut granite, to cut the opening where the stove slides in an extra 3 or 4 inches deep, so I can slide it in further. And I got a guy, and they said they'd come right away, and so the next day a guy shows up. His name was Marco, and he was Mexican, but Canadian Mexican. Spanish? No, he was from Mexico. He told me he was from I don't know, somewhere in Mexico. He comes in, and I had sent them an email with a picture and told them what I wanted, and they said, yeah, we can do that, no problem, we'll send someone. And they sent Marco, and Marco had some tools, and Marco showed up, and Marco had a look, and he's looking around, and he's going, oh, that's granite. It's very thick. Oh, yeah. How much? 4 inches? Okay. No puedo. I go, what? No puedo. Más. Tropos labor. What? No, tropos labor for una persona. No. Need ayudo. And what are you talking about? He says, I can't do it. It's too complicated. I've only got a small tool, small cutting tool. I can't do it. It's impossible. I said, you can't do it? No, I can't do it. No, if I try and do it, small tool, too much vibration, smash granite counter breaks. And I said, okay, fine, you can't do it. Let's just, he says, I call my boss. He come and see, we figure it out. I go, okay. And he calls his boss, they're talking, there's a lot of animated discussion going up. The boss says, sure, he'll come over. He's in the area, he come over in about an hour and he'll have a look. I go, okay, great. So he leaves. About an hour later, a new guy shows up. What was his name? I don't know. Chavez? Chipolte? I don't know. Something. I can't remember the guy's name. He shows up. It's the first guy's boss. And he comes in and he goes, let me see. So complicated. He goes, oh, yeah. Okay, this here, 3 inches. Well, just move. This is easy. We call Marco, he do it. I go, well, Marco was just here an hour ago, and he looked at it and he said it was too complicated. No, it's easy. I'll talk to Marco. I'll tell him to come back, he can do it easy. This is easy. And they said, but Marco was here an hour ago, and he said he couldn't do it. It was too complicated, and that if he did it with his tool, there'd be vibration and it would break the granite. He goes, no, small chance the granite breaks. Marco can do it. I'll call Marco. He'll come back and he'll do it right away. Marco, he can do it. I said, but Marco was here. Marco was here an hour ago and he said he couldn't do it. He said it was impossible, too much labor, no possible. And he called you and you came here. And he wanted you to see, and he says, yes, I see, it's easy. I call Marco back, he come and he do it. Don't worry, it's okay. And I said, I don't want Marco to come back. No, that's unacceptable. Marco said he can't do it. But it's easy. I said, okay, you think it's easy. Marco says it's impossible. So I got an idea. Why don't you, someone else, come back and do it, or you do it? He goes, oh, I can't do it. I'm busy. I go, what are you busy doing? He goes, I have to go see job. I have to control. Oh, God. So, this is a true story, guys. I always give you guys the true story. So someone else. He says, I sent someone else. And so I wait. And a couple of hours later, 3 guys show up. 3 big guys. And they didn't have just a little tool, right? 3 guys show up. They come, the front door opens, they lay out this tarp from the entranceway all the way to the kitchen so they can walk in without dirtying things. They have a shop vac. They have some, what is it called, plastic things with pre-taped with peel-off tape. They immediately start laying plastic, taping it to the walls, kind of building an enclosure around the stove and the they've got a generator outside with a big red long hose, and it's building up pressure. They've got this thing. The guy's holding it like this with the blade going like this. And the other guy with the shop vac pulling up because when it cuts the granite, there's dust going everywhere. There's like 3 of them. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! And they cut the hole. It was fine, right? They did it. It took them about 15 minutes. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I was happy that they got the job done. That's number 1. But number 2, what the fuck would have happened if Marco came back? It's okay. I just called Marco. He'll come back and do it. So long story short, this stove now fits. But it costs me, they only charged me $280 to cut the hole in the granite. So the stove fits in perfectly now. It slides right in. I can open the counters. The only problem is now, 10 years from now when the stove breaks, because it's little chip. After 10 years, it break. You fucked. Once the stove breaks and I have to get a new one, it'll be a different size. It'll be a smaller stove, so when I stick it in there, it'll look stupid because it'll be like in too far, and I'll have to hire someone to rebuild the countertop again. Like, what the hell do I know? So note to self, when you change your stove or something, measure the old one. I didn't know they came in different sizes, for Christ's sakes. Shouldn't they all be the same size? Anyway, that's my story. That's what happened. But that's not it. Okay, that's not completely it. Right after that happened, guys, and I was so happy that it all worked out. I came down here to just check some. This is my little studio down here where I do the commentaries and the recording, and I occasionally stream and stuff. And I came down here and I was like, something smells. Is it the smell from them cutting the granite? No, it can't be. I was just upstairs. I'm downstairs now. What is this smell? And I walked into do we need to look at that shot again? What's the score? Oh, it's 11-14. You're losing. Your shots will no longer hit now. I see. Hey, we're missing a pretty good game here. This guy's doing pretty good. I forgot. What's his name? Uralic. Go, Uralic. Let's just take a break from. Let's see what's actually happening here. Wargaming is allowing his shots to hit, which is because it's point blank. It's hard for them to deviate the shot and make him miss from that range. Can you do? There's an IS-6. It's Russia. It's Russia versus Russia. Russia versus Russia. 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 Sit still for the artillery shell that's about to land. He feels like I felt. It take 10 years, then chips stop working. You fuck. Defeat for Uralic. Oh well, what are you gonna do, buddy? You did 7,761 damage, 6 kills. What are you gonna do? I'm smelling something, and I'm not sure what it is. So I go into the little mudroom where there's a drain, and the sewer's backing up. There's like a pool of brown, sludgy crap that's backed up. I go into the a bathroom down here, and I flush the toilet. And when I flush the toilet, I go into the mudroom, and then the little drain is it's coming in more. The sewer line is backed up. I'm thinking, how the hell did the sewer line back up while they were cutting the countertop? Oh, sewer line, it's been 10 years, you fucked. So I got a sewer backup, for crying out loud. So I had to call a plumber. I called the same guy that I had the few days before that hooked up the gas, who was a plumber, and I said, can you come back? And he said, oh, why? You need it hooked up again? I go, no, they cut the counter. We were just able to pull the stove out while it was connected because you used a 36-inch connector, so I could pull it out of the way while they cut it, and then I pushed it back. He goes, well, why do you want me to come back? I go, well, the sewers lines. He goes, well, I don't do sewer lines. I'll send one of my apprentices over to do it because I don't do the dirty stuff. I said, okay, fine. So within a half an hour, a boy showed up, a small boy, and he says, you got a sewer line backup? Yeah, he come down there. He goes, very simple. I'll tell you the steps that I'm going to do. I will go in with a camera. I'll find your takeout. I'll go in with a camera and see where the blockage is, number one. But sometimes that clears it on its own, and that'll be this amount of money. If I find the blockage and it doesn't clear out, then I'll have to go in with a roto-rooter thing and clear out the line. That'll be this much. If that doesn't do it, if your line is really backed up or it has some roots or something, if the problem is more severe, then we'll have to do a hydro vac thing, and that'll be this much. And then if that doesn't work, if there's a problem with the line, then we're going to have to go and dig it up, and that'll be this much, approximately. And he says, "Are you okay with that?" And I said, "We'll start with the camera." So right off the bat, it was a shit show, literally speaking, because there's no takeout. There's nowhere to put because there's like a renovation that's happened over here, and whoever did the renovation and the drywalling and they covered it, so there's no takeout. So the only way he could stick the stupid thing into the sewer line was to remove the downstairs toilet. So he unhooks the toilet, he takes the toilet off, and he goes in with the camera. He's putting the camera in, and he's got this machine on the... And he goes, "Oh, here's the problem. It only took so far the whole thing only took 20 minutes." He goes, "Yeah, he goes, "Oh, it's clear." I go, "Well, what was it?" He goes, "It was just some toilet paper." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, it was a little ball of toilet paper." "What are you talking about, a little ball of toilet paper? How does that block a sewer line?" He goes, "Well, sometimes it blocks it." And before I called him, I was plunging. I was like, I ran my garden hose down the little the drain, and all. Nothing worked. All I did was make the pool of water in the mudroom bigger and bigger. And he goes, "Oh, sometimes that happens. You wad the toilet." He says, "You got to wipe less or flush more." And then I realized this low flush toilet business, it's true. You should flush your toilet 4 or 5 freaking times. That's what he told me. He says, "Don't flush once with your low flush toilet. You just you have 3 or 4 craps, and you got a bunch of toilet paper there, and it gets hung up on a little imperfection on the pipe. Then you got to call me." But the good news was he was able to clear it just by going in there with the camera, just pushed through. Then he says, "Run some water." He ran the camera all the way down to the city thing, ran it back. He goes, "It's completely clear. Your lines are fine. This is going to be minimal cost, no problem." I go, "Oh, finally some good news, right? All I got to do now is clean up, put your toilet back on, and that'll be fine." So I just had a string of things just breaking, and you've heard my stories, right? If you've watched the other videos about all the things that have gone wrong. Oh my! So I finally was happy that he was able to fix this fairly easily. So he does everything. I paid online on his iPad by signing and my credit card and stuff, right? And it was all okay. I went in there. It was all cleaned up. He was very professional. He put the toilet on, and there was a beading of white caulking around the base of the toilet that wasn't there before. And I thought, oh, maybe he put some little bit of silicone around the base of the toilet to keep moisture. Interesting. It was only a couple hours later, after I was fiddling on my computer here and doing some things, and I had to go take a crap, that I went into the bathroom, and I sat down on the new toilet that he had, or the toilet that he had reattached, and I sat on the toilet. As soon as I sat on it, it went gloop, gloop, gloop. And he had attached the toilet back on, but I think he put another flange at the base, so now the toilet is about 1/4 inch higher than it was before. And when you sit on it, it goes clunk, 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 clunk. Like you can clunk, 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 clunk. It's like the toilet has become partially a rocking chair. So there was a gap because he put it on higher, and that's why he put the silicone, which doesn't stop it from clunk, 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 clunk. And just as I was clunk, 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 clunk on the toilet, I got my phone went blip, and I got a text message that says, "Please review for us the how the job went and how well your service was." I gotta call the guy back and come and say readjust the toilet or take the flange off or clunk, 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 clunk. It's all a shit show, guys. It's basically all a shit show. And the game's over. And the video's over, I guess. I mean, that's all I got for you. Oculus Vision UA from the TMDA clan. Shout out to you guys, I suppose. That's everything. Everything you heard in this video was true. I just, why would I lie? It's all this is what's happening. Eventually, things I think are going to smooth out, and I'm going to be on easy street, right? Eventually, it's going to be just fine. But for now, the last couple of weeks have been just a shit show.